Doug MPA back with another video. So one of the things I pride myself on being able to do on my channel is find articles about things you care about on websites where you wouldn't normally go to. I have a couple of different search engines, and I really have a method to be able to find stuff like this. This article is on divorcemoms.com, and we have this lady talking about single mom at 60. It's not what I thought it would be. So she's going to break down all the difficulties of being a single mom at 60, guys. 60 years old. Once again, on my channel, no single mothers, guys. And ladies, no single fathers. Let the people with kids deal with each other. Before I get into this article, like the video, subscribe to the channel. I really appreciate it. It shows you support me and what I'm doing over here. And let's see what she has to say about being a single mom at 60. She says, another invitation to an all-couples dinner party. Sigh. The choices made as a single mom due to the scars carried have real implications down the road of your life if you give those scars all of your power. See, this is going to be another one of those women empowerment, everything's going to be okay as long as you love yourself type of articles. But let's try to get through it. I've been a single mom for 20 years. 20 long years. She's been sleeping with people. People talk about I've been a single mom acting like they're still not hopping in the bed with Chad and Tyrone. She says, the conditions in which I became a single mom changed my life forever. Changed me forever. Infidelity changed me forever. I was the oldest story of the unsuspecting wife of a man having affairs. The final reveal came 1 month after having our second child. I came face to face, or in my case, email to email to it when I discovered his long-term affair while I was pregnant. For 20 years, I was petrified of giving my heart to anyone. It's so much cope. So much cope. I was terrified of being disrespected again and had no interest in committing myself to anyone other than my children. With an infant and a toddler, how would I ever have time to cultivate a relationship anyway? Relationships take energy. Married couples are barely able to find time for their marriage when they have small children. How in the world was a single mother of 2 kids under the age of 6 going to be able to do it? And you have to add to that, what man worth a dang would want to take you on? See, and this is going to be one of those, single mothers have no leverage in the dating market unless you are a sucker or a loser. Or unless you're a man that already has kids. So, let me put the guys that already have kids. I mean, it's cool for you to date single mothers because you already have kids. But if you don't have kids, you're a sucker and a loser if you date a single mom. Relationships take energy. Oh yeah, I did that. So I didn't. I didn't when they were 8 and 12, and I didn't when they were 16 and 20, and I am still not doing it when they are 21 and 25. I haven't invested too far into anyone. So, and here's the thing. Here's the biggest difference between men and women. Women will turn the fact that they don't have options into I chose to be alone. Odds are this woman was meeting guys in some capacity, but they weren't the kind of guys that she would really want to put down her walls for or be willing to trust again. That's one of the differences between men and women. A man would sound foolish talking like this. A lot of times when guys say, I choose to stay single, it's like, but are you really meeting the type of women that you would want to be around? See, we ask men that question when they talk like this, but we don't ask women. It says, my fear and trauma, you guys gotta love that word, my trauma, kept me from finding a better fit, a better man. And then she has this quote, I'm afraid to fall in love again, to feel lost in someone's thoughts, because once I did, and it took away all of me. Okay, if I had a nickel for how many times I had been asked to join all couples dinner parties, I'd be a rich woman. If I had a nickel for how many all couples dinner parties I turned down, I'd have Bill Gates' wealth. 20 years later, as a result of my decisions to not explore having another relationship, I find myself in a well of confused feelings. That isn't even the wall. That's no man's land. That's you literally staring down the barrel of being single until you are in the ground. I'm happy that I made the investments I did in my children and my family. The returns on that have been tenfold. But here I am 20 years later, and I am alone. When my husband left us for another woman just after our second child was born, I felt as if I had been deleted. My heart, soul, and identity left my body. But the initial murder wasn't the worst of it. The fact that I kept recommitting the crime to myself over and over by allowing this morally bankrupt man to continue to assault me in my mind. I allowed him to re-injure me over and over by putting up walls that no other man could scale in an effort to protect my heart. And that's the thing about it. She navigated life like a single woman. And ladies, if you navigate your life like a single woman, no man's going to stop you anymore. Those days are over. And she didn't understand that this is a one-way trip. If you start putting up all these walls and expect all this understanding and whatever, it's a one-way trip. No going back. I threw myself into work. I threw myself into raising a family. I threw myself into any distraction I could. I worried every day of the week and twice on Sunday at the prospect of being alone. But I was building a future that would ensure that I would indeed be alone. At least there it is. At least she's honest. I am a twin. I wasn't brought into the world alone. I don't know how to do it, and I still don't, and so I still worry. I've worried so much about my solo future that I have sacrificed all of my present moments. I wish more women would read paragraphs like this, because that's the future for a lot of modern women. So here is who I am today. I'm a 60-year-old woman who has a career, who owns her own home, and has raised 2 children alone. I'm a certified life coach. She's a certified life coach, and she's this miserable. See, women, don't get me started, who helps other single moms cope with stress of carrying the life of a family on her shoulders. I'm a woman who uses her past experiences, which includes my past mistakes, as a platform to build equal and better experiences for new single moms. Well, you need to peel that. You need to step back away from that so you can make room for a man. I serve as a support to women who are like me, rediscovering themselves after surrendering important parts of their identities and putting their needs last. Women in general are wired much more that way than men and are far more likely to sacrifice than men. In the modern day and age, that's not true at all. We have the most selfish group of women that are ever put on the planet. Ever. So she is totally wrong here. Well, maybe the 60-year-old women, but anyone 40 below, selfish. So my advice to women is to get selfish, get bold, be brave. My children have never seen me in a relationship. So odds are, if one of them's a girl, she's going to be a single mom, and then the boy is going to have to take care of his mom in her older age. That's her future. They have only seen a very fractured relationship between the divorced parents. 2 people that have learned to coexist from afar, but who actually barely tolerate each other, both seemingly still angry at each other. And then she has a quote, "It isn't brave to love, it's brave to love again." These sites, man. Even though I help other women, it doesn't mean that I don't still have work to do on myself. I do. It is only recently that I am able to shake off the insecurities of abandonment and face my future with my head up. I know I am worthy of love. It just took a while. The lessons were hard, that's for sure. The hole that I literally could feel squarely in the middle of my chest from a broken heart is healing nicely now. At 60 years old, guys, at 60 years old. It's my time to be good to myself. You've been being good to yourself for the past 20 years all by yourself. If only I could have stopped to take a breath and take the needed time to heal my wounds when I was younger. If only I could have been brave for myself and not just for everyone else. I spent a lot of time keeping up an image that I was fine alone. I was a strong, secure woman who was totally confident and together. I didn't need anyone. Once again, I'll say it again. If you navigate life like a single woman, no one's going to stop you, ladies. Truth is, everyone needs someone. But they also deserve someone who's trustworthy and honorable. I don't regret divorcing a dishonest man. I regret not taking the time to allow the opportunity to find an honest one. So take the time to explore this part of being you. It doesn't seem important at 40 years old. It is when you're 60. Guys, this lady's finished. She's finished. 60 years old? You're done for. You're done for. I think there's a stat that says if a guy reaches over 35, he only has like a 14% chance of getting married. And she's 60 years old? Anyway, my emotional self is much younger than 60. I feel like I'm about 40. I have so much energy to live, and this also can present a challenge. I am not able to retire because I have given so much of myself as well as my financial security to raising a family alone. So she has no retirement like a lot of women. Men my age are entering retirement. Most of my friends are now retiring. This is not an option for me. I have to remain relevant and inspired and stimulated. I don't want to sit and rock on a porch. Well, maybe some days I do. But the challenges I face now is how do I find someone that is at the same place that I am? I am not even close to that rocking chair. I don't know the answer to that, but maybe, just maybe, I can find that person. Oh, and this is when you're supposed to say, yes, queen. Don't settle. Hold out. The right man, God's going to bring you the right man. Ha, 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 ha. It says, what I know for sure is that it will take some courage. And if I were to harvest all the courage I've had to muster up in order to raise a family alone for the past 20 years, well, then I sure as heck can find it for this new challenge, this very personal challenge. My advice to all is to take chances when the right man crosses your path. You don't have to jump into something deep right away, but you do deserve to explore the possibilities. Your children will learn a lot too. Be smart, but be brave. I wish you all a good journey, and don't forget to have some fun too. 60-year-old woman, y'all. This is going to become a whole industry. These old women telling each other it's going to be okay. Telling you that, the fact that you have to drink a half a bottle of wine to go to sleep because women are so alone is okay. Just make sure to have fun and know yourself. They say 50% of women in the United States are going to be single and childless by 2030. And this is the future, guys. Let me know what you think about this in the comments. Like, subscribe, and I will catch you on the next one.